We alpha. It's time to choose, it's either or. I'm talking either win or you lose, cause we alpha. And we came to win, and we ain't stopping till we get to the end. Baby, back to alpha. Like how could I lose my life for yours? Tell me which one would you choose? I walk in a room like I ain't got nothing to prove. One man, but I feel like I walk with a crew. I'm alpha. Head stand up like alfalfa. Alpha. Chief in the end, boy, I scalp ya. Alpha. GPS, I reroute ya. Alpha. Whew. Come and learn something. Or get burnt, watch how I earn something. Back to alpha.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to Beyond Barriers. I am your host, Craig Coles. And before I even get started, there's several things I have to say. We have a hot topic today that's going to really jump off. And for you guys who don't know what jump off means, it means it's about to be explosive. That's what that means, okay? So, one, I wanted to do this. My intro has changed since last week. And before I introduce our guests, I have to give my brother props for getting that over to me and doing such an awesome job on that intro. That's the first thing I want to start with. And then I want to tell you this. Welcome to Beyond Barriers. The goal of this show is to introduce you to people, ideas, and opportunities that will hopefully stimulate your growth and abundance, but also motivate you mentally and physically to step outside of your comfort zone and become limitless. Now, today is going to be a big one for me because I have the pleasure to bring on such a dear friend of mine. And it's not every day that you get to meet a motivational wellness speaker with a diverse skill set. And today's guest is unique with the ability to be empathic as well as enthusiastic while delivering heart-centered educational training to corporations, governments, organizations, nonprofits. Not to mention, she's an entrepreneur of Fusion Integrative Therapies. I'd like to welcome my friend, my homegirl, Heather B. Dunning. What up, Heather?
Hey, Greg. I love the intro, man. He did fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
God,
sister.
it was so
Thank
good.
you.
I was jamming.
Oh, man, I love it too. So today, I wanted to bring you on to this show today because Beyond Barriers is because you and I have countless conversations about thinking outside of the box, understanding what joy is, just living this life to its fucking max. And I love your attitude and the way you approach life. So it was so fitting that once I started this show, that I bring someone on such as yourself, because I know somewhere in this universe, we are from the same tribe. I know it for sure.
Craig, I'm so happy to be here. And I'll be honest, I was thinking in the car ride this morning that, over the decade that I've known you, man, it's been so beautiful to watch you not only grow in your community, watch you grow in your body, watch you grow in your entrepreneurship, and watch you help other people grow too. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, sister. So let's jump right into this, Heather. I know we could pick 1,000 things to talk about, but one of the things I want to ask you about first is what made you become, when did you find yourself? When did you find out that you were empathic? When did you find out that you had these beautiful gifts and was able to help people change their lives and convey them into something greater than what they've been? When did you find this out?
That's a really great question, Craig. My honest answer is when I was little, like 5, 6, 7, I knew then. Then, though, I was in a situation where the world was in a much different place. And when I would attempt to share what I was feeling or share what I was noticing, sometimes people weren't always receptive. So I shut those gifts down like so many empaths do to survive this world. But in truth, when I stumbled onto the wellness path and became a massage therapist back in 2000, it busted those gifts wide open. And it gave me an opportunity to rediscover not only what I was born with, but the willingness and the courage to share it and not keep shutting it down, and then be able to help so many other people do the same with similar intuition.
So if I'm hearing you right, you knew you had something going on different than everyone else, right? Because you're a G, right? So you're gonna have something different than everyone else. But it wasn't until you started your therapy business is when you had the opportunity to really express that to your clients.
I have a belief system where I truly feel that each and every one of us, humans in general, are born with empathic abilities. We are sponges in our basic body structure, and we pick up on the environment that we live in and that we visit. You know it, I know it. Are some people born with a little bit more or a little bit stronger, or it's that nature versus nurture? It's the same with muscles. How many
Right.
times have you met somebody that was just born with like muscles? I remember knowing a 7-year-old kid that was all muscled out. He didn't lift a weight. He didn't really do anything. He was literally just born that way. So he had this
Yeah.
base muscle that not every kid had. And when he started working out, it was easier for him to build. So is it easier for some to manage and migrate around it? Sure. But does everyone have it? Absolutely. And learning how to work with our own sensitivities in a world that is not always sensitive to the sensitivities is
Wow.
a gift that all of us need right now, mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically.
So no, that's totally makes the most sense. If you don't, we all have a gift. We all built with this blueprint, and if we don't utilize or take advantage of our blueprint, then it kind of just fades away. But we all have it, is what you're saying,
Absolutely.
and you just learned how to just kind of put practice into it and just make it part of your everyday life.
And isn't
How
working
does
out like that for you too? Like, isn't it a lifestyle for you, working your body out?
it is? I believe that we all have to have. I always, I mean, I could go really far on this topic, but for me, I think we have to have routines, we have to have habits, we have to have rituals. And I think when you have those routines, habits, and rituals, it just borns whatever's natural about you, right? Or you can create whatever it is you desire by just putting those three factors in place. A routine. This is what I do. I work out. I don't put that away. I don't. My health is number one. My ritual. When I wake up in the morning, I have something I do. I don't care what the day is. This is what I'm going to do, and then my routine. So no, I think if you do practice those type of things, then yeah, I guess if you are empathic, you can really bring that to the forefront. So yeah. So how does that affect you? Like how did you fall in love with using that energy you have, or that skill set that you've honed in on? How have you used that to help as many people as you have helped thus far? Like how?
That's a great question. The first answer that came is knowledge is power. Right? Knowledge is power,
Oh,
education is power. And
if you do
so
something with it.
it's a matter of, what do I need to learn about this? What do I need to understand and know about this sensitivity or this information that I'm getting? We live in a world right now where most humans around the globe, because I get the opportunity to speak to other cultures and countries as well. And the thing that I've noticed is that we're all a bit exhausted. No
Mhm.
matter how healthy people are being and how great of nutrition, the exhaustion is coming from the overwhelming amount of information that is coming to us all day, every day, by these little devices and by the environment that we're currently living in. So it's a
Yeah.
yes and. So how do we navigate the information? How do we not become burnt out? That was my topic this morning. How do we let go of some of the information? How do we practice discernment? Listening to what's relevant in that moment, letting go of what isn't. You actually are great at this. One of the best I know. And I just want to compliment you for a second and say, you're so good at when something hard hits you, you have this, well, it's one of your superpowers, I think. Your ability to, navigate or move to the positive as quickly as possible without victimization, without excuse, without blaming. You just jump. I can't explain it. Oh, I want to bring up something we talked about yesterday because I think this was so powerful and it touched both of us. And this is a great segue into it. You were
Mhm.
talking about how you used to jump blindly. You would just
Right.
jump, right?
With
And
my
now,
eyes closed.
right? You just jump blindly and just go. Let's go. Let's just go. And you trust. It's blind faith. But now, now, you're choosing to open your eyes and fly free. It's not about jumping blindly, right? So it's that same idea. Where can we open our eyes? Where can we be awake to what's really happening here and not the story that our mind is creating? You're so good at letting go of your stories. It's what makes you a great coach, because if you can't do it yourself, how are you going to help everybody else let go of theirs? If you don't have a story that was of some type of trauma and drama that you have risen out of, right?
Right.
You know, as the example that says, it doesn't matter about this. I found my new rhythm. I found my reset. I let go of the excuses. I even let go of the stories the doctors told me, right? Like, you created your own reality and you help other people every single day do the same. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and so do I. We just have different avenues. But if we're not practicing it, if we're not doing it ourselves, and it doesn't mean perfection, peeps. Let's be clear. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about either one of us sitting on some soapbox going, oh, we got this bleep figured out. We don't got this bleep figured out. We're just creating habits that are making it a little bit easier to navigate all of the information overwhelm.
Man,
I have to call back to you.
that is, yeah. I am 100% in agreement that we are overwhelmed. And I think one of the things that we do have as a society is that we have too many damn choices. And because we have too many damn choices, we don't know where to make a choice. We stand still. So
Paralysis by analysis.
yeah, exactly. So my choice is, when shit hits the fan, is that, you know what? I'm choosing the greater side of that situation each and every time without hesitation. You know what I mean? So when it comes to me, and you're right, it's the same message I pass on to my clients as well. Very well said by you, but it's the same concept. Like, we can either stew in this or we could go and create what we desire, you know? And so I love the way you come at your clients and the opportunity. I think also what I want to compliment you on too is this. 1,000 things to compliment you on, but this is what I want to say. Like, there is no better way to be coached while you are being soothed, while you are messing with their nervous system through touch. I know you do sound bowl. I know you do all of these things, and on top of this, you're able to speak so well to life. Tell me about joy. What's your concept of joy? Like, and what do you think about joy?
That's a great question. I answer it like this. We focus a lot on the word happiness. What I want people to be able to take away today, even if this is the only thing you take away, is the main difference between happiness and joy state. So happiness is really dependent on our preference. Did it go our way? Did it happen the way we plan? Is it what we like? It's our preference, our comfort, right? Joy is our essence, our being, our birthright. It's the thing you don't actually have to work for per se. You might have to work in your life to open up the channels to receive or be receptive to joy, but joy in and of itself is a state of being. Happiness is almost a doing. Joy is a being. Think of joy as the whole ocean. Happiness is the waves in the ocean. And today in these sessions, I know Craig and I talk about building a boogie board. Like, what do you need to ride the waves of your life to not get so stuck in that, in and out of the wave itself? You're the ocean. Joy. I'm sitting on my porch the other day. A hummingbird comes. I'm just sitting there. I'm just breathing in. I'm doing my 10 minutes of breathing in nature. I'm chilling. I don't have my cell phone with me. I'm just present. I'm listening. Sometimes I close my eyes. Sometimes I open my eyes. I'm practicing mindfulness. This little hummingbird comes over, sweetest little thing, joy. A hawk comes and flies from a tree right on my step, looks at me, flies back to his tree, continues to look at me, clearly tells me, I hear you, I see you, right? He wasn't hunting, or she or he wasn't hunting. They were connecting. But we're so busy that we miss these joy moments that we don't even have to work for. You don't have to work for joy. If you're working for joy, you're missing it. You're already missing it. You're wearing yourself out. It becomes elusive. It's allow it. Here's one tip. When I talk to people about joy, and I was noticing this even before COVID, Craig, but after COVID, sadly, joy has been a little elusive for people slightly. not everyone, but slightly. And some of you who are listening might even be sitting there going, what does bring me joy? Is it a hummingbird sitting from a flower? Is it a visit from a hawk? I don't know. If you don't know, give yourself permission again to dream, to discover, to open up your heart, to say, I'm willing to receive this, whatever it is. Maybe it's a hot cup of coffee on a tired day. Maybe it's your favorite coat when it's cold outside. Maybe it's sunshine on your face when you feel alone. Whatever it might be, make a list, a detailed joy list. I recommend 50 things on it. Most people can't come up with 5. Can you name one thing off yours? Detailed, not generic, not family, not nature. Be detailed.
Joy for me?
Yep, something that brings you joy on the planet.
Blinking my eyes.
Don't have to work for it, and you don't need to. Say it one more time.
Blinking my eyes, hearing my breath, smelling, just being present, just being here, knowing that I am not here, just understanding that although I'm in this world, I'm not of this world, knowing that I am limitless, knowing that I am fearless, knowing that I fly with my eyes open. These are things that bring me joy. These are things that make me realize that everything that goes on in my life is only a thought, and it's only temporary. One of the greatest things that I've ever learned from my father was this, that this world that we live in is an illusion, and it's the most beautiful dream you can ever have. But you have to be willing to dream it. You know what I mean? And people aren't willing to dream it because they allow people to steal their dreams. So joy for me is just knowing the fact that I am because I am. That right there alone is my joy. It is because I am. I get it. Does the tree make noise when it falls? If I didn't witness it, it's not my concern. It's not. My concern is my health, my love, my just embracing of myself. So when you ask what brings me joy, I could go forever. But I 100% agree that people get away from joy. And, that whole theory of, stop and smell the roses, it never was more prominent until right now, until I heard you say what you said. I understand what it means when it says now, stop and smell the roses. I had theories, but now you made it really hit hard for me. So I will stop forever. I will lay down by them bitches and just smell them until I will lay down by them. If you ride by one day and you see me laying down by some roses, you know he's enjoying it.
I'm laying down with you. What are we looking at? I want to say that was awesome. I want to say this to you. I have witnessed and heard, like not in person, but just witnessed from your speaking, how much you love your father. And I just want to say that I think actually knowing you well enough to know that one of the places you get joy is in your relationship with him. And I want to say again to the audience out there, everybody's got different parents and everybody has a different childhood. We all got little traumas, big, little, and everything in between. And it's okay. We see what you're packing, even if we don't see it. We see you and your human experience. In that same breath, it doesn't matter if you have a father like Craig's. What does matter is that you know who your person is, or you know who your people are, the ones that you do feel joy from, when you just get a text from them, when you have an intimate conversation with them, when you walk on the beach with them, whatever it might be, when you just sit thinking about their face. Every time he mentions his father's name, his whole entire body lights up like a Christmas tree just at the thought of that man. Who is that person for you? If you're having trouble figuring out your hummingbird from a flower or your hawk visit, who are your people that bring joy? What are your places on the planet that bring joy? The ocean is one for me. What's one for you, Craig? What's a place
ocean.
that you
I love the water. I'm just coming back from Costa Rica. I can't wait to get back because the ocean life was so beautiful. It wasn't like a Virginia beach, just sand. It was like mountains and greenery, and it's just mind-boggling. So the water is just my thing. Water. And another thing that brings me joy, peace is I'm finding teaching myself to sit with myself, being okay with the bullshit that comes into my mind and allowing it to pass, and just to be able to defeat that. I shouldn't use the word defeat, but just to be able to recognize it and know that it's a part of a hardship of something that I'm trying to accomplish, that, controlling my thoughts, just to know that I'm going through that and knowing eventually I'm going to be freaking great at it brings me joy. It brings me joy. There's no rush to nothing now for me. And I'm appreciating and learning that more. So that's another thing that brings me joy. But yeah, definitely water is my thing. So when it comes to people making decisions on how to make changes for themselves, and I know, the hummingbird versus the hawk, but what advice could you share with someone who is looking to just like, I need to change my life, Heather. Shit has been crazy for me. It's hectic. I don't know what meditation is. I don't know what the universe is. I don't know if there's a God. I don't know if there is one. I have no idea. I just exist and I want fucking help. Like how would you help someone with that type of
Making
mindset?
decisions. Thank you for that question. You said earlier that part of the overwhelm is having too many choices. So part of making decisions is stopping the spinning. Who out there feels like they're spinning? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You just spinning. You're burning a lot of energy. You're even staying busy, but you might not actually be moving towards your compass line. You might not be aligned with your soul's purpose. You might just be spinning. The world is spinning, literally, like actually literally spinning. And then the people on it sometimes go into a spin. So 2 tips. I don't give advice because people don't take it. I share information. If it resonates, awesome. If it doesn't, drop it and keep freaking moving, because we understand you're getting too much information. So if this information resonates, awesome. Share it with loved ones. If it doesn't, keep moving. Your information's waiting for you out there, right? So 2 things. 1, mindfulness technique. This one's easy. It's a classic one. Most people know it by now, but if you guys don't, this is a beautiful place to start, okay? Mindfulness. It's called the rule of 5. It's a simple one. 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you smell or feel, 2 things you taste, 1 thing you smell, something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can even be 5 things you taste, but it might be a little harder to do that. So You're getting in touch with your senses. You're allowing yourself to be present in each moment. Is it easier to do outside? For sure. You're going to be more stimulated. Can you do the mindfulness strategy inside in a building, in your car? 100%. What's the purpose? Stop the mental spinning. Bring yourself into this moment, not in the past of regret, not in the worry of the future or the anxiety that gets built, right here in this moment. People have asked me over the years, what's the difference between, excuse me, mindfulness and meditation? One of my favorite quotes that I found that I think explains it perfectly is mindfulness is a quality of life. Think about that. Mindfulness is a quality of life. Meditation is a practice that enhances that quality. I'll say it one more time. Mindfulness is the quality of life. Meditation is a practice that enhances that quality. Meditation does not have to be sitting in a room for 30 to 50, 40 minutes or 20 minutes with your eyes closed going. That's great if you can do that. But if you can't, it doesn't mean that you can't meditate. It just means that might not be the style for you. So the next time you're walking, the next time you're vacuuming, the next time you're washing dishes, dishing meditation is one of my absolute favorites. What does that look like? It's Craig, you remember the original movie Karate Kid, right? You remember wax on, wax off, paint the fence, wash the car. Right? And the guy was like, "You're not teaching me any karate." And Miyagi goes, "Wax on, paint the fence." Right?
Yeah.
We take our chores for granted, and we even allow ourselves to feel negative about them. Some people do. Some people even avoid their chores. But what if the daily activity of living your life became the meditation itself? Remember, mindfulness, study of life. So we step up. Seeing you got you're inhaling, exhaling with each dish. That's one simple strategy. Add in gratitude. What does that mean? I'm grateful for the water, the soap, the plate, the food, the farmers that got the food, the drivers that drove the food, the money that bought the food. That food did not show up on your plate magically. I wish it did. I'm ready for that. But it doesn't. It shows up with a whole system that got it to where we are. But we've become so accustomed to the pattern and habit of just doing it, we forgot about the steps that actually got us there. When you start adding gratitude into your dishwashing experience, by the time you're done, you not only are full from your food, your kitchen's clean, your vibration, joy and gratitude are already raised. Oh, real quick, I learned this when Randy had to go through his shoulder surgery, and he's kind of our professional dishwasher. And he actually came to me 2-3 weeks in, and he said, I never thought I'd say this in my entire life, but I actually miss washing dishes, because he realized that he was taking for granted that he even could. When he was not capable of washing the dish, he was heartbroken. It all of a sudden didn't become a chore. It was now a limitation that he couldn't even involve himself in. Now he washes dishes like darn Snow White herself, whistling while he works. Okay, it's pretty amazing. and he doesn't even want anybody else to wash them. He's like,
got it. I got the dishes. I got it. He's inviting people over just to have more dishes.
Mine is lawn mowing. Like, some people will come and go, oh, I'll mow your lawn. I'm like, no, you won't. Right? That's my moment to go be with my land and be with my trees and be in peace and find my breath and give gratitude for every stretch of grass that I hit, instead of seeing.
That is so awesome. You know, a lot of people get mixed up with meditation. I hear a lot of people using the word meditation constantly. Like, I'm going to meditate, as if it's something. One of the things that I really agree with, meditation is just a practice to get to a mindfulness, right? And so when being in meditation, a lot of people struggle with staying still. They haven't trained themselves to stop and stay still. And can you explain why you think that is? I know I have thousands of reasons why I know why people can't stay still. But what is your take on that? Not knowing how to stay still and just be.
I had this beautiful sharing from an audience member today, and they were talking about what stands in the way of their sleep. And they were saying how, they use TV and various different things to distract themselves late at night. And I said, why? What is it? Not why. What is it you're getting from that? And they said, well, the distraction helps me to avoid the very thoughts that are stopping me from sleeping. So they become distracted just so they can rest, right? There's an addiction right now, and I say it with love and kindness, to busyness. There's an addiction to busyness. So in stillness, your stuff comes up. Your stuff comes up. You can't run. You can't hide. You can't distract. You have to sit in it. Craig told me years ago something that it maybe took me years to really come into, even though I tell people this, and I still needed to hear it many, many times from a dear friend to really begin to understand. He reminded me that sometimes we don't want to feel the grief. We don't want to feel the anger. So we run and we run and we run from it. But the truth is, the only way to go through it, to really get to the other side, is to freaking sit in it, man. To sit right down in it. And as uncomfortable it is, you will get to the other side much quicker. Studies show much quicker if you just sit, receive it, feel it, then release. But what we do is we start to feel it, the discomforts, all the things we don't want to see, and then we distract. And in that distraction, we stay busy. And in the silence, we get real clear.
It's funny. And another great thing that my father had shared with me before, and yes, I do, just piggybacking off of what you said a little while ago about my dad is a monumental part of my life. And I really like that guy. He's a real G. He's taught me a lot about being a man, including mistakes and everything. So yeah, but one of the things he told me is that forgiveness. Yes. One of the things that I've always used as a something to stay mindful with is that you are perfection. And the only reason you believe that you aren't perfection is because you compare it to someone else. So therefore, it taints your idea of yourself, your ideology of yourself. And if you could look at life like the sky is always blue. It's always perfect. Even though it may seem hazy, it's always perfect. And the clouds that's in the sky are nothing but thoughts. And everything passes. all clouds pass. But the problem is that we like to hold on to a cloud and run with it. And so therefore we use distractions to not think of how we anchor to that cloud. But if we just sit with ourselves for some time and allow that cloud to pass and be okay with what that cloud has brought upon you or what you have brought upon yourself within that cloud, that it will pass. Because there's one thing for sure that I can guarantee every listener this, is that everything passes. Everything. There's not nothing that doesn't, from your thoughts to your age, your height, your weight. Every is not nothing. There's nothing that's forever but you. So with that being said, every situation moves. So yeah, I'm with you on that, Heather. Look, I would love to talk more and stay on there. We're gonna have to do a part 2, Heather, because I'm just getting warmed up and I'm really loving your energy, your flow. I love what you have to say. Oh gosh, I love the way you articulate the things you just say. You just make me like one of the things that I love about talking or conversing with you is that every time we converse, it's like I learn shit from you. And I know that you're learning. I know that you're not too pride. You don't have pride, and you would say this. The things you tell these listeners, you actually listen to yourself because you learning as you talk as well. It's not you just talking to someone. These are things that you practice, you figuring out that you could be stronger in as well. And that's what I love about you. You know, you don't come on here like, oh, I just got my shit all together and this is this. And, no, I love it. I love our mistakes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Heather, let me ask you this. Where could my listeners follow you at? How can they find you? How can, I don't know if you want to give out your phone number. I don't think that's right. Whatever you want to do. But
you ready?
You might get some other calls because you're looking really good over there too. I need to let you know. So
it's really easy. It's my name. You guys see it in print right here. I made it super easy on you. It's www.heatherv, as in Victoria, Dunning.com. There's information on there, and I'll leave you on this. One of the messages of my website right now is tune out, tune in, tune up, right? Like that's the message. The tune out, it's different for everyone. Tune out the noise, tune out the static, tune out the self-doubt, tune out the fear. What's tune in? Tune into self, tune into your joy list, tune into your patience, tune into your rest, tune into your nutrition. What's tune up? Tune up your life, tune up your dreams, tune up your relationships, tune up your health. It's for everyone, but it's about finding the customized version of what those definitions are for you. Where are you? Where do you want to be? How are you going to get there? Stop judging yourself. We love you. It's time for you to love you.
I love it. Guys, I want to thank you today. Well, more importantly, Heather, I want to thank you for just coming on the show and sharing your knowledge, your love, your energy. I love you. Like you man, you my girl. I tell you, my tribe. So that being said, guys, that's going to be the end of our show today. The show is powered by Back to Alpha, turning humans into phenomenal beings. If you're ready to take your life to another level, please, reach out to us, Back to Alpha. My IG is only one Craig Coles, or you can find me at www.backtoalpha.com. And please, guys, hit my girl Heather up. She will change your life as well. We are both in this game to teach people how to be limitless in this lifetime, and she is definitely in the co-pilot seat with me, and I'm in her co-pilot seat. However we could get it done, let's make it happen, guys. Thank you guys for listening to this show.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. He's the best trainer I know, people. Mentally, physically, emotionally. You got this. Thank you.
All righty.
We out. We out. It's time to choose. It's either or. I'm talking either win or you lose, cause we out. And we came to win, and we ain't stopping till we get to the end. Baby, back to Alpha. Like how could I lose my life for yours? Tell me which one would you choose? I walk in a room like I ain't got nothing to prove. One man, but I feel like I walk with a crew. I'm Alpha. Head stand up like Alpha. Alpha. Chief in the boy, I scalp ya. Alpha. GPS, I reroute ya. Alpha. Come and learn something. or get burnt. Watch how I earn something. Back to alpha.